very good evening to one and all present here to the episode 2 of the podcast series presented by Frames Photography Club. I hope all are doing very well. I'm Komal Singh and it's my great privilege to address you all today. As today's session is quite special because we are joined by a very special person who will address all the law students on a very special and essential aspect of our life about the 5 years degree and also afterwards, along with her own experiences. So wholeheartedly welcoming our beloved Sukirti Samale Mishra Di to the show. First of all, thank you so much, Dee, for taking out this time to interact with all of us today. Before moving ahead, a just brief introduction about Sukirti Dee. She has completed her 5 years law degree from SOA National Institute of Law, Bhubaneswar in the year 2023 and then joined IIT Kharagpur for her master's in intellectual property rights. We are blessed to have you again with us today to enlighten all the law students about your experiences and also clarifying a few questions that we have in our minds. So, moving ahead with our session, a very warm welcome, Dee. First of all, how are you? And if you could describe a bit about yourself.
Hi, Komal, and hi to the viewers. I'm so excited to be here. It's always great to do something for Frames because I've been a part of it as well. And I'm feeling great about connecting with you guys after so long. It's so long. It's after so long that I've been able to see you guys, although virtually. And I'm fine. I'm doing great. And I'd be happy to answer any questions related to IIT KGP examinations. And I'd be happy to guide you through this process.
Thank you so much, Dee. So moving ahead, our first question that everybody wants to know about, how's your experience at IIT Kharagpur been so far, both academically and socially there?
Well, the experience here has been great. There's no other word to describe it. We have a huge campus here and there are a lot of things to do within the campus. We have a market here, it's called Tech Market, where you can buy any kinds of products. There are vegetables there, there's fruits there, grocery there, anything, clothing, stationery, it's everything. And it is within the campus. We also have too many beautiful places to explore within the campus. We also have a helipad here. We go there sometimes. Apart from that, there are many hotels within the campus. PFC is my favorite. Apart from that, there are a lot of restaurants within the campus as well. The social life is great because you get to interact with a varied group, because it is not just us who are here at IIT Kharagpur, but there are BTech students, there's MTech students, people who are pursuing PhDs. So all of us live within this campus and it's like a community. So you get to interact with a lot of people. So in that sense, the social life is great. Another thing which I enjoy the most about the social life here is that we have movie nights every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where they basically screen all the new movies. So that means we don't feel the urge or the need to go out of the campus to watch any movies because we can view it free of cost within the campus. So the social life is great. Apart from that, the academic life is also great because for me personally, I believe the faculty here at IIT Kharagpur, they are great. They are very qualified. And our professors are ever so helpful to help us with any kinds of things. There's no stupid doubts, even at LLM level. They're there to clarify all our doubts. But we're always, burdened with a lot of things to do. There's always pending assignments. There are tests. There are a lot of examinations, midsems, endsems. So we're always busy. That is what. If we're not studying, we're enjoying. If we're not enjoying, we're studying. And we also enjoy while studying. So that is how life at Kharagpur is.
So then you're having a great experience there.
Yeah, so far, yes, definitely.
So understanding that, what motivated you to pursue your LLM from IIT Kharagpur actually?
I always had a knack for IPR. It was the subject that I loved the most, even during my UG days. And that knack, that urge to learn more basically developed because I did a lot of internships in the IP field. So I was only introduced to that first through my internships and then later in my academic journey in my UG level. So just reading about it, it made me very intrigued to know about things such as copyright or trademark, even patents for that matter. And I've been a person who's always been interested in things related to entertainment or media. I'm also a painter myself. I can also do a lot of photography and other stuff. I was also part of Frames during my UG days. So I've been very connected to media. And when I discovered this side of law, that there's something called IPR, which basically protects intellectual creations, I was very intrigued by it. And then I discovered IIT Kharagpur, which is like the best institution to learn about IPR. And thus, I was very interested to pursue my LLM from here.
Certainly, and this is also a field that is not much explored by many of our students, which has to be. Okay. So can you share some insights on the entrance exam and the exam pattern and also the qualification process, like how you have been there and what can students do to be there to IIT Kharagpur?
The thing that has happened now is that the exam pattern has changed. For us, there was a different exam pattern. So until last year, we had a CBT, computer-based test, and then we also had an interview. So if you qualified in the CBT, you were allowed to give the interview, and then there was a cumulative mark based on both the CBT and the interview. And that's how, if you made the cut, you were here at IIT Kharagpur. But this time, the pattern has changed. We do not have the interview anymore. As far as I know, there are 120 questions that you have to attempt in 2 hours. And that's pretty much it. You do not have to go through any interview process. And if you make the cut, then you will be given a seat. As far as I know, this year they are giving 3 specializations. I think it's IP law, it's criminal law, and it's international law, which is subject to change as well. So that's that. In that sense, the pattern has changed. From what I can tell you from my examination experience is that there were a lot of questions that were related to intellectual property. And those were concept-based questions. You do not have to mug up anything, but they were basically related to the concepts of, let's say, patents, trademark, copyright, GI, all the basic kinds of GI. Nothing very technical about it, but you have to be conceptually clear in order to, find the correct option from the choices. Apart from that, there are other subjects in the exam pattern as well, in the exam syllabus, which includes criminal laws, civil laws, international laws, constitutional law, definitely. So all of that is there. So in that sense, the exam pattern has changed, but that was my experience from the last year's examination. So yeah, I qualified the exam, then I gave the interview, and I was fortunate enough to get selected, and that's why I'm here.
Many congratulations on that to you, Di.
Thank you.
So can you tell us that how did you get to know about IIT Kharagpur? And also that, did you have any other colleges in mind, like when you were applying for the IIT Kharagpur to pursue your master's from there?
I got to know about IIT KGP from the NIRF ranking. That's how I got to know about it. I was scanning through it, and then I saw, IIT Kharagpur also gives you an option for an LLM course, an LLB course. So that's how I got to know about IIT Kharagpur. What was the other question? Come again?
Like, did you have any other colleges in mind also while you were applying for IIT KGP?
Yeah, definitely. I did have other colleges in mind. I had backup options. I had written the CLAT examination as well. But my primary motive, as I've said, I've been always interested in IPR only. And this is a course wherein you are given a 2-year period. And I personally preferred a 2-year LLM over a 1-year LLM because you get a lot of time to explore the subject, to develop a more in-depth understanding of the subject and then research on it. Whereas what happens in a 1-year LLM course is that you are required to study all the subjects in the same year where you are also preparing your dissertation. So in that sense, I always preferred IIT Kharagpur as my first LLM option, but I did have other colleges in mind as well. But when I got into IIT Kharagpur, I was very happy about it, and then I did not look back.
Certainly. So, how has this program helped you in terms of skill development and also career advancement?
Like I said, the faculty here, it is just amazing. I've always loved to learn from my professors here. And what happens is that there is this notion that in an LLM degree, what you're basically doing is reading theories. But our faculties here, they have a lot of practical experience, industry experience as well. So when they come to the class, they not just come with their theories, but they also come with their practical experiences. Now, let's say when we're reading about patents, so it is not just section 3 that we're reading, but our professor, she also tells us the litigation strategies that are related to different section 3 cases. And that happens for all other subjects as well, such as in case of trademark, in case of copyright, we are given a lot of practical insights. So in that sense, we are exposed to what is happening in the industry and how people approach the IP problem in the industry. Even for that matter, in constitutional law, we are never given, we are never given a polarized view. We are never made to believe that this is right, this is wrong, this is how this is how you should interpret it. But those are always very open-ended conversations wherein the faculty also interact with us and they also want to understand our views on the particular subject. So in that sense, that has helped me a lot in my skill development. My mind is more open now. My mind is more open to ideas now, and that is only going to help me in my dissertation when I write it next year.
Certainly. So then there are a horizon lot of opportunities that IIT KGP offers to a student. So, like when you were in the process of applying for these colleges and to appear in the examinations, what were some of the challenges that were faced by you in the preparation of these examinations?
The biggest challenge was the fact that there is a huge syllabus to cover, and every entrance exam has the same subjects, but it is more or in some sense it is a little different. Like for LLM here, I had to concentrate more on IPR subjects. So I had to, I had to have. I was required to have more understanding about the IP subject. So in that sense, there are a lot of subjects that you have to cover. So that was the biggest challenge for me to I faced. And usually it happens for everybody. Nobody starts preparing 2 years ahead of your entrance exam or even 1 year ahead of your entrance exam. I only started preparing for the entrance exam 6 months before the date of exams. So I had a lot of things to cover, and that was the biggest challenge. So to overcome that, I did a lot of test papers. I solved a lot of question banks. So what happens is that you're able to figure out what to cover and what are the things that you don't necessarily need to give a lot of importance to. Because while giving these examinations, your primary intention should be what will fetch me more marks, what subject has more weightage. So that is where you should ideally be focusing all your effort into. So definitely solving a lot of questions, question bank helped me in that matter. Apart from that, what helped me overcome the challenge of a huge syllabus is that during my UG days, I loved classroom teaching. I was very interactive in the classroom and I loved reading in the classroom. Uh, I did a lot less studying going back home, but I did a lot more in the class itself. So my concepts were really clear, even though I did not put in a lot of effort back at home or just before the examination. So that is something that helped me overcome that challenge of a huge syllabus. If your concepts are clear, there's just any question that you can definitely solve, because law is based on some basic understanding, some basic principles. And if you are clear about that, then you can solve any question. Syllabus won't matter.
Certainly. So this was your interest and your niche that it took you there. So, moving ahead, what would be the suggestions that you would like to pass on to your juniors and to all the viewers that who are interested in knowing about your journey, and also what are the suggestions that they should follow if they are also willing to apply for a PG course at IIT Kharagpur?
Certainly, my biggest, the biggest thing that I would like to pass on is that concentrate on your classes. There's nothing that can teach you more than your classes. I mean, you can delve a lot of time into reading a lot of law books, but your concepts can only be clarified in the class itself. And if you have that 1 hour time where you can devote your attention into learning, why go back and study for 4 more hours? The same thing that you could have completed in the class in 1 hour. So that is my biggest takeaway from my UG journey only. I started concentrating on my classes a lot, and that has helped me a lot in my journey. Yeah, so that is my only advice. And the other advice that I always give to young people is that uh, don't be scared and don't think like there's a huge mountain ahead of you that somehow you have to conquer. uh, Anything you do, life will always make sense. There are ups and downs. It's always a part of life. So in that sense, if you're chilled out about your life, if you don't take a lot of things very seriously, if you're not anxious about those things, then that will only help you. You could be very anxious. You could concentrate a lot on your studies, and you could not think about 100 different things. But then when it does not go in the way that you had planned it to be, you tend to get very anxious, you tend to feel very sad. So in order to avoid that, just do your thing, study often, concentrate on classes, and don't be anxious. Life is not that serious. You will make sense of life.
That actually matters a lot to all of your juniors, and it is showing us path towards this. Okay. Also, one thing that many are focused only towards their academics, and they be like, in this 5 years of law degree, besides our academics, there couldn't be anything else that we should be into. So, what are your suggestions for those kinds of people? Like, only academics, is it the only way or path to success or moving ahead if a person is only concerning towards LLM?
See, I can't speak for everybody else, but I think definitely it did not help me only focusing on academics. I will tell you this: the most amount of learning that I had on the subject like IPR was through my internships. That is where I got to learn a lot from. It is only through your practical experiences that you will be able to learn about a lot of things. And apart from that, in your when you're applying, let's say for an interview, everybody knows that you have a good CGPA or you are good in studies. But what will be that differentiating factor is that what else have you done? Were you into public speaking, or were you into dancing or reading or writing, or did you paint? All of those things make you an interesting an interesting person. So that is what people look when they are recruiting someone, because um, a lot of us, most of us have intelligence and we can read things and we can develop that knowledge. But what is that thing that makes you different from others is that personality that you have acquired. And in order to acquire that personality that is very attractive, you have to try different things. You can fail at it at first. I remember my first extempore at SOA. It did not go well, and after that, I was very demotivated. But I took it as a challenge, and I thought I will just do it for the fun of it, for the heck of it. I don't have to prove anything to anyone. I just want to develop that skill. So you have to approach things in that way. You have to develop a lot of skills along the way. So yeah, just concentrating on your academics might take you uh, to a great place. But personally, I feel you have to invest a lot of time into doing other things as well, into reading as well. Reading books that are not just law books. You can read novels. They might help expand your vision, expand your mind. So yeah.
That is a wholesome advice that in order to achieve, we have to be excellent in all the fields that we are. Okay. So, you are pursuing LLM at IIT KGP. So, what is that one area in your studies that interests you the most under IBR?
See, for me, I think I love the domain of copyright and trademark because, like I said, I have always been very much, and also media and entertainment, which is very much a part of IPR. So I've been always intrigued by this media field, the entertainment field. So that is something that interests me a lot, and there are a lot of developments that are happening in the field as well. See, IPR is not a very new subject, but things are still processing. It is not as concrete as the other law subjects. Law as such is ever evolving, but the other subjects we have a basic we do have a basic understanding in IPR as well, but things are more set in other forms of law. But in IPR, there are a lot of things that are coming up. Like recently, something that has been in the news is how AI is changing things, and whether there's copyrightability in things that are generated by AI, whether things that are generated by a generative AI, is it patentable or not? So those things are evolving in the field of IPR, and I particularly find copyright and trademark very interesting. My first internship that I did was in the in the domain of trademark. A lot of people say that it is mostly about filing and stuff, but there are a lot of strategies that are involved into saving, into getting a protection for your trademark, how you're going about commercializing your IP. So that intrigues me a lot.
Okay. On that note, what are also some of the opportunities that you find after your LLM, and would also be a suggestion for all of your juniors who could be interested towards this degree further?
There are a lot of things. The most evident one is that you can go into academics, you can go into research, you can write the net test. If you qualify that, that's great. Apart from that, you can also have after the LLM, you have as much opportunities and even more than you have after completing your LLB. So it's not just that after LLM you have to only go for academics or only go for research. You can very well go into the corporate field. If you want to write any competitive examinations, you can write that as well. A lot of my friends here are also willing to write competitive examinations. They're also writing it now. So there are a lot of things that you can do after LLM. You just have to decide that niche for you. Where do you want to go? Because there's you know anywhere that you can go after an LLM degree. So yeah, that's that.
Okay, so also it depends very much on the interest of the person, like what are their interests that they are converted towards.
Right.
So on that note, it was wonderful talking with you and getting a lot of insights on your perspective and towards the suggestions that you would pass on to your juniors who are also willing towards to move to this field and also exploring what to do in future. So, on that note, we would also like to have a rapid fire kind of thing between. So,
Sure, sure.
I would, in that thing, I would just be asking you a word. And whatever you think of that word, in a span of a second, you'll have to answer on that.
Okay,
It's 10 a.m. So, firstly, tomorrow,
bright.
ITKGP,
Fun, exciting, a lot of work.
IPR,
Fun, exciting, a lot of work, intriguing, so much to know. Yeah, I've spoken more than a word, but yeah, that is what I think.
that's fine. So, Suma,
A beautiful place, teachers, juniors, friends, social life. Yeah, all of that.
your juniors.
Uh, Loving, caring, fun. Yeah, I've had the best experience with my juniors. I've been very fortunate to have amazing juniors in my time and so on.
And finally, friends.
Exciting, beautiful photography, videography, VJ, Podcasts, there's anything that Frames can do. And I'm so proud of you guys for, taking this forward. You're doing this podcast. This is a great medium to let people know about a lot of things. I saw the previous podcast with Akash Sekha sir, and it was amazing. And keep this going. I enjoy watching your podcast. And yeah, thank you.
That is a great motivation from the best senior we have. But just one last thing that everybody wants to know, a word for the teachers at SNIR.
Oh my God, I love my teachers. I just love my teachers. There's nothing else to say. My teachers at SNI, they've given me that confidence to present myself. I've learned so much from them. If I'm sure, it is only because of them, because they cleared that concepts, and because they took out that time to clear those legal concepts. Nobody gives that much time to any student, but the teachers at SOA, they're always ever so helpful. And it was not just for me, it was for every student in SOA. So yeah, I love my teachers at SOA, and I'm still in connection with them. And yeah, they've given me some of the best years of my life, some of the best learning experiences. I particularly miss my jurisprudence class with Anvesha ma'am. That is something that I will always cherish. And yeah, that's about that.
Certainly, the teachers are the ones we are most privileged to have with us. So, coming to the end of this show that we never wanted to, but it was a pleasure talking to you and having you with us after a great time. And this was a great time that we had learning about your experiences, getting a pathway, and understanding that what it is and what could be the future opportunities and the pathways that are open for all of the law students that we have. So thank you so much, Steve, for taking out time and attending this session and giving your valuable insights on all of the questions and queries that we as law students always have in our UG course. So that was it. A very wholehearted thank you from the team of Frames, SNI, and everybody, all juniors that are watching and the viewers as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I enjoyed being here as well, and thank you for taking out time and doing this. I know that you guys are also busy. That you also have a lot of work. You're busy in studies as well. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me and giving me this platform to share my experience. And yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. On that note, we end our podcast for today. Thank you to everybody and to all the viewers. Thank you so much.